Hey everyone, thanks for coming to watch this video. Today I'm going to show you how to make school supplies using these push pops. I'm going to be making a glue stick, an eraser, and a pencil sharpener. Before we get started, if you guys are new to this channel, welcome! Thank you so much for coming to watch this video, and make sure that you guys subscribe so you are sure to know when we upload a new video, which is usually about 2 times a week. Patreon. This is the new symbol for Patreon, and our link is below. We have just uploaded this website, so make sure you guys check it out. And for a small fee, you guys will be able to get access to behind the scenes of us making this video, buying supplies, anything to do with these videos. So it's going to be lots of fun. And of course, make sure that you guys like this video before we move on to creating these fun push pops. Thanks, everyone. So let's start with our glue stick, and for this one I'm going to pick the blue raspberry because the color is blue, and that's going to match really well with my gel glue stick here where the base is a nice sort of turquoise. So let's just check out this glue. Very good. And then we're going to carefully peel off the label off the push pop, and of course let's take a peek at the candy. So here we have our blue raspberry, and the beauty of the glue stick is that we don't mess around with the candy, so you guys can still eat that. So let's carefully peel off the label. Now if you are using an X-Acto knife, just make sure that you are extremely careful, as these obviously can cut your fingers very easily. So carefully peeling off that label to ensure that you don't rip it. So that's off, grab your glue stick and just make sure that it's all good. Now the glue stick is a teeny tiny bit skinnier, but that's no problem. So take the label off your glue stick, again, carefully peeling it off, but this one, it doesn't matter if it rips as you're done. And I really like the color of that, you guys. Mod Podge. This will stick, seal, and whatever else, coat your labels. So put a nice thick coat there for your glue. Then you're going to carefully line up the label, ensure it's nice and straight, and then again put some more of this awesome Mod Podge stuff on top and seal that label right up. Let it dry, and this is what it looks like after it has dried. So very good, happy with it so far. Now here's our lid. Now, depending on the size of your glue stick, see, this lid is a little bit too big, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to get some adhesive foam, and I'm sure you guys can come up with something else if you don't have any of this. So just make sure you guys measure the circumference of the lid according to what you're using. I like this stuff because it sticks and it's also a little bit squishy, so it has a little bit of room for movement when you put the lid on. So just push it in there, and it's going to make the circumference of the lid a little bit smaller, right? So you do this, and then the lid will stick nice and firm so that your glue doesn't dry out. And there we go. That is our glue stick completed. Very nice. So moving on to our eraser, and for this one I'm going to use the watermelon push pop because watermelon is just so yummy. So taking off the label off the lid, and that's all you have to take off for that. And then we're also going to remove the candy, as that's where our eraser is going to go. I don't know if I'd recommend the pulling technique that I did, but maybe melting it in hot water would be better. So there we go, we have our base. Now you will need some eraser, so make sure you guys know where you can get that before you start this video. I used a Play-Doh rolling pin to punch out these colors, as the circumference was very similar to the push pop, but you don't have to. You can just sort of like mush together a bunch of erasers and just sort of roll it into a cylinder too. So whatever you want here. So I'm just going to make a nice tower of all my eraser colors. And the tricky thing about this, you guys, you want to make sure that they actually stick together. So I'm kind of smushing it together and rolling it as I create this, as I don't want my individual colors to separate. Okay, so once I'm happy with my little teeny tiny eraser cylinder, I'm going to roll it together, and this is what it looks like prior to baking it, and I'm going to make a hole before I bake it so that I can put it on after. I'm just checking the height here. Looks good. The next thing we're going to do is turn this into our eraser so it's ready to go into the push pop. So you want to prep your eraser. I have here an oven-safe dish, but you can use a pan. And then you're going to make sure that you guys read the instructions. So here's mine, Creatables, and it says bake in the oven for approximately 250 for 30 minutes, and then you want to let it cool for 60. And please make sure that you have adult supervision, as this will be getting quite hot. So here it is after the oven. And now we're going to use some of our super duper glue to glue this eraser to our push pop so that when we erase stuff, it doesn't pop out. So again, making sure that you read the instructions and using adult supervision if you require it, as this stuff is super sticky and toxic. So putting a nice big coat on your push pop, and then trying to line up the hole exactly where the eraser was with your push pop so it fits in really nicely. Then you want to find something heavy to set on your push pop and let it dry for at least 24 hours to ensure that it is well stuck in there again for all your erasing needs. You don't want your eraser to pop out. So this is after it's weighted, and look at that nice rainbow cylinder eraser. And the best part is that these erasers, you guys, really work quite well. So I definitely recommend the Creatables, as look at this, and gone. I'm very happy with the result. And our last DIY today is the pencil sharpener. Now with these push pops, the base is quite a bit different than the jumbo push pop, so you want to sort of decide before you buy your push pop which one you'd like to go for. This one's a little bit harder because it has sort of an uneven base, whereas the big ones have a flat base. So this one's a little bit trickier. So again, removing the candy, probably melting is the safest way to do that instead of sort of snapping it off. Very carefully, you're going to take out the part where the push pop candy stands on. So I'm going to use my X-Acto knife, and this is sped up a little bit, so I didn't actually go this fast. So you want to make sure that you go nice and slow so that you don't cut your fingers. Okay, so I have my hole for my pencil sharpener. Now one thing I have to do with the small push pops is that there's a gap between the pencil sharpener and the base. So I'm going to fill that up with cardboard. So I'm going to trace the shape of the push pop, but I do know that in order to get it in, I have to make it a little bit narrower. So cut a little bit smaller of a circle, then I'm going to put a hole punch in for the pencil sharpener, and you can modify the circle as needed. And then just make sure you guys stick some glue in there and carefully put it into your push pop. My pencil sharpener, and I've added just a little bit of pieces of felt on the side, you guys, just to make it nice and snug when I put it in. I have more glue on it. I'm going to carefully insert it into my push pop. Again, that felt is there just to make it a little bit tighter. You want to make sure that nothing is blocking the way of the sharpener though, as obviously your shavings will get blocked. So you want to make sure that that's nice and clear so that they can come out when it's full. So make sure you guys let your pencil sharpener dry with all that glue in there, and make sure that you stick on the lid, as the shavings will just fly out. And then once it's all ready to go, you can test it out, and let's see how it works. Voila! And then you just take off the lid to empty out your shavings, and there you have your own push pop pencil sharpener. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for watching this video to the end. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure that you do so. And of course, make sure that you like, share, and comment. And we will say hi back, so be sure to type a little note in there. And let me know which one you guys like the best. Was it the eraser, the pencil sharpener, or the glue stick? Make sure that you guys subscribe. Thanks so much. Bye.